Guess what? I'm still in the bathroom. Because the other day, the last video, one thing I didn't say is we haven't got the plumbing hooked up down below the drains. All the water's hooked up. It's turned off right now. We've tested it and it's good. But the plumbing from all this just goes straight down into the basement. So I'm gonna hook that up today, and I still have this P-trap to hook up. So that'll be the plan for today, is get this P-trap put in down here and then go down in the basement, and once that's done, and hook that up kind of temporarily, because the existing plumbing that's there is not what we're going to leave there, but I will probably tie into it, because eventually we're going to have to come to the other side of the house and bore a hole through the concrete floor and go under the footing with a pipe, and I'm going to do away with all that going out the front wall down there. So, and anyway, I'm going to go down and hook that up here in a minute as soon as I get this done. So traveling alone today. Lisa's got other plans, so that doesn't happen very often. Usually if we're off work, we're usually together, so I'll just muddle through this without her telling me what to do all day. I'll do my best. Okay, so I put this in on there just so I can determine the height that I want this pipe to be cut. So I'm going to cut it about right here, and that'll give me plenty of room for this downspout, and I can work it back and forth that way if I need to in the future, getting it apart and whatever. So I'm going to put that down there, and this pipe is actually sitting on the ductwork in the floor, so I'll just take it right out and go to the saw and cut it, and glue this piece on top so I don't make a mess down here, because Lisa would not be happy if I made a mess of glue in the bottom of her cabinet. And you all know Lisa, she likes to give me a hard way to go, so I'm avoiding that. Okay, so I've got this cut off, and I've got it moved out here off of Lisa's floor and out of her cabinet. And I'm gonna give it a little dose of this and then a dose of that. I really don't want that stuff looking bad in there. Put that to the back, that'll work. Give it a Scotia glue. There. Okay, so this pipe will actually be cut off in the basement later on, when, well, hopefully here in just a little while. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in there, get it screwed together, and then go down there. Come back over here. You wandered off. So I'm gonna drop that down in there. This will have to come loose a little. And I had to cut this off, but when you do that, you really need to make sure you get all them little burrs off of in there. Especially if you have a very long-haired person in the house, because hair will get down on that and build up if there's anything for it to catch on, and then you're dealing with a plumbing issue. So, and I'll be get that out of the way. This got to come back out of there because I've got to put that on there. I'll have to be a little extra careful when I cut this down there and make sure that I don't get this pipe pull something apart up here as I do it. I may get a board and lay on here and clamp this pipe to that board so the height will stay exactly where I want it. Might just do that before I go downstairs. Turn that to where it hides a lot of that purple stuff. That should be pretty good. I may come back in here with the little heat gun and heat these up before I'm done and get them squared up to where they're standing up straight like that. And then I'll caulk around these with some white caulk and probably along this back floor back here. And that'll help hold them in place and this in place and just look a little better overall. So okay, so let's go downstairs. Okay, so I made it down here in the basement, and this is what I've got to hook up. There's my vent. I've got to get a fitting for that. I don't have that to make that adapter, so, and I don't have quite enough 1.5-inch pipe, so I'm gonna have to go get some, but that's gonna come down and come back over here and tie back into this black plastic, which is going to go away before long, or it might be a little while yet actually, but it's going to go away. There's my toilet, comes down, so it's going to come across and tie in probably about here. I'll hold my hand there, so about where my hand is, and just above this then right here is the sink, so where that wire goes up in. So I've got to cut another hole over there to get to that in a minute, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop this down and let it run over here and kind of get a start on this and figure out maybe actually get the toilet even hooked into this line, and then I can determine for sure what all I need. I'm gonna do as much as I can here before I run to the store for more parts. So that's where I'm at. So I'm gonna shut you down for a little bit. Okay, so I've been working on this for a little bit. That's glued in. That goes up to the vent up there. So that's already glued in, comes over here and ties in under the toilet, and it's glued to here. So this is just cut. That one joint right here is glued, but that's not. And then none of this is. So I'm getting ready to pull this off and glue these together. And also probably make this joint last. This one and that one up there. So my sink is still up here. I've got to get it down from above. But my shower drains right there, and I'm gonna have to get a fitting for it. So I think I have pretty much everything else. I'll be cutting a hole here in just a minute. Wasn't wanting to use this black pipe at all, but it's going to be a temporary thing, hopefully. Until we pretty much get done upstairs, and then we will I'd like to bring all the plumbing out and back over here and down, maybe back in that corner, so it would all come this way and against somewhere in this area, maybe on this side of the door, so you don't have to cross under it, but go down through the floor and out. So that would be replacing all this, because it has duct tape and everything else holding it together. So this is the kind of jobs I like, because pretty much anything I do is an improvement. There's my mark. Probably would have been wise to have marked it up here so I'd have known how far to put it back in there. Maybe if I can measure down there. Hook the bottom of that floor. Yep. 7.5 inches. Yes, sir. 7.5. Okay, it's set on my mark there. There's my mark. I'm gonna pull it up, turn that back around so I can get mostly white showing up here. I may try to clean some of that up later, but it's not too bad. It's leaning a little, so that's better. I think that's cross-threaded. Who did that? There. That's gooder. Okay. I'll go back down, see what I got down there. Okay, so we got this all hooked up. Got a trap that's below the tub. It's all dry up in there. We've run some water. Seems to be good there. This comes over, tees in to the main line, goes up to the stool. The vent's hooked up over there, and we come on around the corner and tie into this black stuff. So, and this is all going to be changed out, but hopefully sometime next year or two anyway. When we get done working on everything, we will come back through and plumb it out a different direction. So I'm gonna go upstairs now, take my tools back up, and see what we got going on up there as far as any leaks or anything. I did find while I was down here working, I jarred this loose right here. and it's just loose, so I'm gonna have to come back and do something with that. It's dripping, but it's dripping water from the furnace, so it's not like it's sewage. It's clean water coming out, but I'll have to do something with it before long. Not right now though. Okay, back up here. Got everything to working now. This, it was dripping a minute ago, and I realized I had this in there, and this one joint back here is made to not have one of them. The nut had it built in, so my fault. But anyhow, I took that out, put it back together. No leaks, so that's all good. Tub and shower working, hot and cold shower works. So, and the stool works. Had water on up here for this stuff most of the day while I was working downstairs and around. So I believe it's all good. I've checked the downstairs a time or two. It's dry. So ready to move on to the next thing. So appreciate y'all coming along, and we'll catch you on the next one.